Fortnite limited time modes, or LTMs, have seemed to go by the wayside in the last couple years, and if you're a new player, you may not even know what I'm talking about, but in the first 4 to 5 years of Fortnite, limited time modes were essentially a way to escape the sweatiness of public matches of Battle Royale. But it seems that Epic Games has forgotten about LTMs, but I sure haven't, and so today we are going to revisit what are, in my opinion, some of the best and most memorable LTMs that 100% need to come back sooner or later. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So firstly, I'm going to group 2 LTMs in together, and that's going to be Sniper Shootout and One Shot. Now, Sniper Shootout was exactly what it sounds like, only snipers, and there is a little caveat because I believe in the early seasons when they first added it, they did add revolvers in and scoped ARs, but that ended up getting patched super quick, and so the actual version of Sniper Shootout is all snipers, including hunting rifles, I believe. And I love sniping, so this is obviously my favorite. And it makes for super funny, goofy gunfights, right? You know, you jump in a box with somebody, but everyone only has snipers, so you're you know, no-scoping people, and it's super fun. And One Shot takes this to the next level. And in One Shot, everybody had, I believe it was 50 HP? I could be wrong, could even be 10 HP, but the whole premise was that you were one shot. So if you got hit by any sniper in the game, you were instantly dead. And again, let me preface, it was only snipers. So if you got hit, you were dead. And I believe there was also anti-gravity at this point too. So it really made for some really tense gunfights, right? Because every single time someone was aiming their gun at you, you know that if they hit you once, you were dead completely. Whereas in regular Sniper Shootout, you know, they could body shot you, you could hit shield and med up and whatever. But yeah, no, these are 2 of my favorite LTMs of all time, and I can't believe that they haven't come back, and they really should, because it was so fun. And I honestly have to give a shout out here to 50v50 for being what I believe the first LTM ever, but I actually want to discuss a different version of 50v50, and that's actually Food Fight. So Food Fight was a team-based game mode, kind of like 50v50, where the lobby was split into 2, and you had half a team was for the Durr Burger and half the team was for the Tomato Head. And essentially you had to defend your mascot. So there'd be the big mascot and you'd build around it, build traps, everything, defend it, and the other team would try and come in and destroy it. You had to do a certain amount of damage to it, and whoever destroyed the other team's mascot won. And it's really game modes like this that make me miss old Fortnite that was just so relaxed, and like if you didn't want to hop into a sweaty match of pubs, like you could just come into Food Fight and just play a team-based game mode. It was respawn as well, which is super nice. And I remember my brother, who was a total noob playing Fortnite, but he absolutely loved playing Food Fight. And again, LTMs were really special and a really great part of Fortnite, and Food Fight is one of those LTMs that makes me miss them even more. And now I want to talk about the Getaway. And I guess while the Getaway was considered its whole own like unique event back in season 5, I believe it was, the whole premise of the Getaway was that jewels would spawn around the map, and you and your team would have to take the jewel and extract it to one of the vans that were flying in the air, hence the Getaway. You were stealing the jewels. And it really made for some super cool moments, right? Because you could steal the jewel and you'd be revealed on the map, but you would have to build all the way up to the van. So if you wanted to, you could just camp one of the vans, wait for someone with a jewel to come, kill them or break them down, and then you'd have a free extract. So game modes like this are super unique, and game modes that take away from the Battle Royale just winning the last person standing and add a different objective are super unique and really made Fortnite what it was back then. And not to mention, they also tied different challenges where you could win cosmetics by doing different stuff in the Getaway game mode. So extracting, stealing a certain amount of jewels, stuff like that. I believe it was a pickaxe and a back bling, and then it came with a couple skins, the ace, wild card. It was a whole event, and it was a great event actually. But yeah, I think the Getaway is definitely one of the best LTMs of all time for sure. And how about the Floor is Lava? And this is kind of a unique one because this is actually an LTM that recently came back, one of the only ones to be introduced, or reintroduced for that matter, recently into chapters 4 or 5 of Fortnite. And of course, the whole premise of the Floor is Lava is just that. The floor is lava, so the lava rises up. If you touch it, you die, that type of thing. And again, this is another example of taking away from just the objective being winning the game of Battle Royale and killing all the other players to now using whole different other strategies and not even focusing on killing other people, but just surviving yourself. And of course, in a game mode like this, your whole loot pool changes, right? You're not really focused on your weapons. I mean, maybe you'll have one or two to try and kill people, but you want to focus on utility items, glider redeploy, you know, rift to goes, shockwave, stuff like that that's going to keep you in the air for extended periods of time. And I think the floor is lava is really liked by the majority of the community, and it's a great idea, and so I don't think that this placement will come as a surprise at all. And of course, these aren't in any particular order, but I do believe the floor is lava is a top tier game mode. I'm glad it came back. I'm glad hopefully some new players got to experience it, because it is really, really a treat. And yeah, another LTM that is certainly one of the best of all time. Another classic LTM, and one of the first LTMs ever introduced, was high explosives. And it's exactly what it sounds like, just only explosives. So rocket launcher, quad launcher, grenade, all that type of stuff, just explosives in the loot pool, nothing else. Of course, this makes for super hectic gameplay and actually pretty noob friendly gameplay, which is why I think a lot of people actually enjoyed this, because again, it takes away from that public match sweaty battle royale, last one surviving, and now it's just every man for themselves. Everybody has explosives. They're fun, and that's the point of LTMs, and I think the current state of Fortnite kind of misses that a little bit. And later down the line, they would actually add fly explosives, which just added jetpacks, so you can imagine how crazy that is, just everyone flying around the air with jetpacks and RPGs. But in my opinion, that was a little bit less fun, just because, you know, when people are jetpacking around, how do you hit them with explosives? You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really like fly explosives as much as just the base high explosives, but again, it was a fun LTM, and in my opinion, definitely one of the best. And I definitely have to give an honorable mention to the Infinity Gauntlet LTM. That was super fun with Thanos and his gauntlet. So fun, and one of the first LTMs ever, and I have to give it its own kind of honorable mention just because it has never come back ever. We had obviously a separate Marvel LTM, but this LTM in and of itself with the Infinity Gauntlet has never come back, probably will never, so I'm not going to give it its own spot, but I will give it its own honorable mention. And for my final placement of this video, I'm going to go for Wick's Bounty. And Wick's Bounty was actually a whole large event with the release of a new John Wick movie, and so they had collabed, added his skin, added a POI, and added this LTM, which I believe to be one of the best LTMs of all time. And the premise of this LTM was essentially each player was given a combat AR or attack AR, and a combat shotgun, and then a bounty token, and if a player was killed, the person that killed them took the token, and so each player had 3 lives, so there was respawn, and then the 3 players at the end of the game with the most tokens would be shown on the map, kind of how the current bounty system or medallion system works. And of course, the game would just keep going on, and eventually all the tokens would be in that one player's possession, right? Because each person has 3 lives, so if you die 3 times, you're out, and all your tokens are stolen. And it really was a test of skill, so kind of a sweatier game mode, right? We're kind of going away from the fun, but also adding different layers, right? 3 lives, you auto-deployed with 2 weapons, everybody had the same weapons. And yeah, I think Wick's Bounty goes forgotten as a game mode and an LTM a lot of the times, but in my opinion, it is absolutely one of the best LTMs of all time. So yeah, that is my entire list for some of Fortnite's best LTMs of all time. Let me know if you guys want a part 2 to this video, because I definitely could, or let me know if you guys would rather me go back and revisit some of Fortnite's worst LTMs, because trust me, there are some bad ones. Let me know in the comments which is your favorite LTM personally. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.